What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Litecoin today, LTC USD. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more contents. If you want to see more stuff like this, hit the like button, subscribe. Let's get into it. Okay, so finding support here at previous areas of resistance, looking great. Yes, you slipped. This, to me, it's almost like a fake out. It's not technically. It's not, I mean, kind of, but it's not. It really is just a lower low in this trend right here overall. But with this look where you're finding support at previous areas of resistance, this is, to me, it seems a bit like a fake out, right? I've been talking about a bunch of different cryptos that look like this today with this lower high, lower low kind of look. At this point, it seems so obvious where you're going to go, right? It's like you don't need me. End of the video, boom, there it is, right? It seems so obvious, but here's where I'm going to contest that. I don't think we actually go down. I think that this right now is getting us set up to actually break this trend, and maybe we go down a little bit more. Maybe we go down even a little bit more. Maybe we don't go down at all. That was it, and we just break out to the upside. But sooner or later, and I would suspect that over the coming days, probably by the end of this week, we will have broken out of this trend for Litecoin, and probably most cryptos will have broken out of their downtrends. Maybe it's not this one. Maybe that's the better line. I don't know. However you want to draw it, whatever. If we look at the relative high to the relative low here, you did get above your 382. It would be nice to hold the 236 as support. However, I will say I don't think you need to go down there because you've already gone to your 382, 236 for support and back up. I don't think you need to go lower. You could be finding support now at your previous areas of resistance that you held here for like 3 days in a row, right? If you look at a 4 hour, it might be a little bit more obvious. You look at the 4 hour time frame and you can see here you're finding support on a closing basis, finding support where you found resistance mainly on closing bases time and time again throughout this whole area here. So this could be a nice little higher low. I want to look at the relative fibs here, just see if you're doing anything. Low here to a high here, right at your 382, man. It's perfect. It is literally perfect. And the daily, again, I've said this for a few, it's deceitful. It gives you this look, and you look at the RSI, it's the same in the RSI, lower highs, lower lows. You just rejected the 50. There's all these things that would make you think that it's going to go lower. But I think the daily is deceitful because you look at the 4 hour, and the 4 hour here actually has lower lows in the RSI while maintaining higher lows in the price. The 4 hour has a 382 support area right here at about $100. Psychological level of support too at $100, and you're finding support right there. It's a story. I couldn't write a better story. I really couldn't. And here you are too, volume dying off both in the actual volume bar readings, but in the histogram too. You can see it sloping down, coming down as you're moving down, and you've got higher lows, right? Like I can't help but think, and as you're moving down into these lows even, right? Volume dying off as you're coming down, I can't help but think that you are going to move up higher. That you've already found your low, and I think this was your higher low. I think that was it, the low that you experienced yesterday at $100.95. I don't think you go below that. I think you're moving up now, starting now, like right now, man. The 1 hour looks bullish. The 4 hour looks bullish. The 3 day looks bullish as well. Finding support, higher lows. It actually looks really good off of that 50 bullish engulfing candle. Nice candle there for the bottom as well. The weekly is bullish as hell as well. It only gets more bullish as we zoom out, and then the monthly, of course, looking ferocious. You're above the 60. First time being above the 60 since the last bull cycle, where last time you closed above the 60, that's when you went on a rampage from these same prices to prices that were over $400 in about a quarter, maybe about like 4 or 5 months, right? From the same price of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months last time. Okay, but I think you'll do it faster this time. I think it might take. Well, let's see. If you're in December now, maybe it does take about 5 months. You know, from here another 3 or 4 months is kind of what I'm thinking. But to get back up to these prices, that could make sense, right? All the way up to the highs. I think that in a month's time, LTC will be at like $270, $300, somewhere in that range, right? But I think to get all the way back up here, I think that that'll be in April. And truthfully, April, May, I don't think you'll stop here. I think you will go higher. In case anybody's like, wait, that doesn't make sense with his analysis. All I'm trying to say is January will probably be up here, we'll consolidate. Then April, May will be the time that we're up at these highs, but only briefly on our way to higher targets is kind of my expectation. I do not expect the price to look exactly like this at all. But all I'm really getting jazzed up about is how bullish all the time frames look on a monthly, weekly, 3 day, 4 hour, everything but the daily. And the daily, to me, it just seems deceitful because, again, you look at the relative areas right here, it looks bearish. But if you look at the whole picture, you're actually finding support at an area you found support before, at an area you found support before, support, support, support. Very bullish area in the RSI where you've gone to the overbought zone most of the time that you've bounced off this line, right? Not only that, you look at the price, same thing. It looks kind of bearish the way it is, right? It almost looks like it would be a no-brainer that it's going to go to a lower low, at least some kind of higher low that would be down, right? It looks obviously that you would reject this area and go lower, but you found support on a closing basis here at previous areas of resistance right there, and previous areas of support actually kind of here, and resistance there. A little bit of resistance there, right? There's other things going on besides just the look that you're doing here, right? And then the actual low here came in, finding support at previous areas of resistance. Not really any significance there. Not really significant. Kind of support, kind of actually some support there. Resistance, support, whatever. Not as significant on that line, but the closing line definitely had more significance. I don't know. And then the volume dying off too. Again, it looks like it would go lower, but if you look at all these other details, it actually kind of makes sense that it doesn't go lower. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to stop saying all the same words over and over again. We're at $103 now. My absolute belief is that Litecoin right now is in the middle of a move. It doesn't seem like it, but if your low is here, that would imply that if I'm targeting you to go up here or higher, right, that means that Litecoin is now in the middle of a move that is taking it to $230 or higher. Just based on this fib, I would expect that you do see that, right? $230 or higher. If we look at the price action, we go back in time and we see if anything makes sense out of that. 230 right there on the 1886, boom, right here with this resistance point. I like that. The next target area would be the 2272 at 320. That's just above this area of resistance here and kind of at your previous all-time high. So 320, maybe the highest. 233, maybe the lowest, something like that. If we take this relative high here, relative high to the relative low there, you've got your the way that you're actually being constructive on this fib would make sense at the 382 that you find resistance either in the golden ratio zone or at the 786, right? The golden ratio on a price perspective doesn't make as much sense to me, but the 786 we can kind of make sense out of, right, with that high there being at about 230. But if you hit the 786, it's very possible you could go to this point of resistance somewhere between the 786 and the 886. So again, that 320 area is coming back up here at 317. So 320 might be the height, the limits that you could reach. But I don't know if you see that. I think that you would probably stop somewhere along the way. Likely not at 233. Likely above 250 is my thoughts. So I don't know. I think it's going to get good for Litecoin, guys. I don't know. I just kind of kept talking at that point, but I think I've said everything that I need to say. I don't need to say anything else. Let's look at the ribbon, right? People like the ribbon. It's like I don't know. We're at the end of the night and I pull out some sparklers. It's like, look, I got some sparklers here. I don't know, man. It's just like it's distracting but fun and it looks pretty, and it actually is pretty helpful. I'm looking at the 3-day period here. This ribbon looks very healthy. I love the reaction that you're having here off of this. It looks undeniable that you're going to move. You're in the next phase up right now. Like the ribbon, the 3-day ribbon really looks clear. The daily ribbon, again, the daily's the only one that actually kind of looks bad because you rejected your yellow line. And now it's almost like you're back below the ribbon. This is not a good look normally, but you are still finding higher lows. It's deceitful, this daily time frame, man. The weekly time frame, bullish as ever, bouncing. That's exactly what you want to see with a bullish endeavor, right? That's exactly what you want to see. And then of course the monthly here, looking to get that cross up, looking to prove this as a false cross down, and I think you will. I don't know. I got nothing else for you guys. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.